All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. Let me know if you can hear me. Give me a one or a con. And with the I.S.U.P.K. started out of 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. And since 1969, we've been teaching the truth according to the Bible that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the real Jews. You know what I mean? Put your name in for attendance. You know what I mean? If you want to be a trooper, wear all black, black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and headscarf. Any questions also, make sure you type them in the chat. Let me share this link to two people. Any question, make sure you type them in the chat. Any question, type it in and we'll break it down for you. Okay. 2 seconds. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry for the lateness, with a few camera issues. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're gonna get into a bit of history. You know what I mean about they call it the New Cross Massacre, man. The New Cross Massacre is what 13 people in the 80s that got burned to death in a house. You know what I mean? That burned to death in a house. And no one knows about this. You know what I mean? While everyone's crying about, Ukraine, everyone's crying about Palestine, and everyone's crying about all these countries, and everyone's crying about, the Amalekite, the so-called Jewish man. No one's crying about black people, man. 13 black men in the 80s died in a massacre, man. You know what I mean? They was having a party at Shubin, and the Shubin was petrol-bombed, man. It was petrol-bombed by some NFs. For anyone that's old enough, NFs is like the UK version of the KKK, man, or the UK version of the skinheads, man. House was petrol-bombed and 13 people died, man. You can watch the documentary on BBC for your iPlayer, where a man said he thought he was so hot, he thought he was sweating, and really he wasn't sweating. Really, his skin was melting off his face, man. That's what our brother said. People jumping out the window to live, man. We had man jumping out of windows to survive. You know, my man was holding onto a drain pipe, and the drain just broke off in his hands. You know what I mean? So it's a mad documentary, man. And no one be locked up for it ever. And guess what? No one even knows about these 13, man. In fact, no one even cares about these 13 people, man. No one gives a damn. Why? Because they're black. And no one cares about black people. Let me tell you something. Our life ain't worth life in the UK. It's not worth life anywhere you go. Everyone cries about the Ukrainians. These same Ukrainians that everyone's crying for. Say, listen, if you're black, you can't get on this train. These same Ukrainians that are dying and saying that we must love them and cry for them don't want to love people with dark skin, man. There was 13 Jamaican students, man, that was forced to walk. Why? Because they couldn't get on the Ukrainian bus, man, with the Ukrainians. The same Ukrainians that everyone must cry for and feel sorry for. And don't laugh. That's terrible to laugh at people that's in need. Treat us like crap, even when they're going through crap themselves, man. That should show you something, black man. We ain't equal, man. We ain't equal, man. This is why I'm in the I.S.U.P.K. This is why I follow Christ, man. This is why I'm on a mission. You know what I mean? Because every nation's out for their own. I'm out for mine. I won't stop till my race on top, man. You know how you got people that own businesses, you got people that own McDonald's and Burger King, and their job is to make sure that Burger King is on top, man. If McDonald's comes out with a burger, they compete against it, man. If KFC comes out with a burger, they compete against it. Why? They want to make sure their brand is the best. And likewise, I want to make sure my race is the best, man. I want to make sure my race is on top. And guess what? To get my race on top, I can't join with other people, man. I ain't got time to love other people, man. I ain't got space to love nobody else, man. All my love goes to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. It can't go to no one else. If I'm giving other nations my love, then what about my own people, man? If I'm giving someone else my love, that means the brother out there that's missing some love, man. If I'm out there feeding Edomites and Chinese people and all other nations, then that means some brothers out there that need my love. If I'm out there fighting for the Ukrainians, then there's a brother out there that's missing me, man. That needs me to fight for him. There's a brother out there on drugs that needs me to fight for him, man. There's a brother out there on crack that needs me to fight for him. A brother out there with no father that needs me to fight for him. Meanwhile, I'm fighting for the Ukrainians. I'm fighting for my so-called country. That's ridiculous, man. We gotta love our own people, man. Don't let Christianity fool you, tell you about this and you gotta love all people and God loves all people. God don't love all people, man. Black man, God loves you, man. God loves you, man. And we burned to death in a house in the 80s, man. No one even knows. No one cares. There's no 1 minute silence. The whole world cares about Jessica and Holly. The whole world cares about Madeline, but no one cares about these 13 people that was dead, man. The slogan is what? 13 dead, nothing said. 13 people died, and guess what? Life carries on like normal, man. You know what I mean? A couple of Ukrainians get bombed, and guess what? In war, mind you, they died in war. In war, people are supposed to die, man. That's what war's all about, man. That's suspected to happen, and no one gives a damn. They have 1 minute silence for World War One, 1 minute silence for World War Two. Meanwhile, no one cares when you die. Let me tell you something: a black man gets shot by the police, and life goes on as normal, man. The ends is taped off for what, a day maximum, and there's once they finish their investigation, they scrape them up off the ground, man. Throw them in the back of the van, and life goes on as normal. People continue going back to work. There's no 1 minute silence for Mark Duggan. There's no 1 minute silence for Jermaine Baker. You know what I mean? There's no 1 minute silence for all these black women that were raped in slavery. Life goes on, man. But people want to cry for Ukrainians. And it's such racist that guess what? They don't even know they're being racist. They're not even doing it on purpose. It's built in them. Our life is so cheap in this earth that they don't even know they're doing it, man. They don't even know they're doing it. We kill each other every day in the streets, man. And you know what they do? They make a movie out of it called Top Boy. They make a movie glorifying it, selling loads of hits and selling loads of copies and, getting a Netflix special. We're going to make a part 4 soon. No, part 3. Part 4 soon. But when the Ukrainians die, the world got to cry. When we die, it's entertaining. You can rap about it and the whole nine. But when they die, it's sad. Black people talk about killing each other, and guess what? No one gets their YouTube page shut down, man. No one goes to Facebook jail. We're talking about killing them, man, and running man down with this and chefing up, man, this. And guess what? Record sales go through the roof, man. Wiley talks about a Jewish man. Oh, God, that's hate crime. So hold on. When Wiley was talking about killing black people, that was hate crime. When Wiley's talking about selling drugs to black people, that's not hate crime. When a black man's talking about having sex with a black woman and throwing her away, that's not hate crime. When a man says, I had sex with a girl and said, listen, the baby ain't mine, that's not hate crime. Future, the rapper telling black people to pop Percocets, man. Talking about Percocets, Molly Percocets. He's teaching kids how to take prescribed drugs, man. And this was hate crime. Nobody got banned for this. Future's Facebook page and Instagram page is still there, still active. Got the certified tick still there. But God forbid you talk about the Jewish man, they're gonna call it hate crime. Whoopi Goldberg said that what the Nazis did to the Germans wasn't even racist, had nothing to do with race, and she was right, man. And guess what? You can't talk about other nations. You know why? Because they are somebody. How dare you diss what they went through? How dare you insult what they went through? And Whoopi Goldberg wasn't even wrong for what she said, man. What the Nazis went through was not racism, man. Because the Nazis are the same color as the Jews, man, as a Jewish man. So how is that racist? They're the same race. Hitler was fighting against Britain, man. Who was Hitler fighting against? Hitler was fighting against what? Poland, man. France, England, who are other white countries, man. How is that racism? Hitler was allies with Japan. Japan was fighting side by side with Hitler. So how is it about race, man? It wasn't about race, man. And all she said was it wasn't about race. And guess what? She couldn't even say that. When I'm blocked her. But you can talk about selling drugs to black people, though. You can talk about killing black people, and you can talk about, twerk it, and, black women ain't nothing but bees and holes. And that's fine. You know why? Because no one loves black people, man. And all you got to do is dig deep enough, and it will come out, man. It will come out. This is the new crossfire, man. I'm going to blow it up big so everyone can see it. So luck here. And nowadays, they're trying to blame it on... A brother said he saw a man picture bomb the house, and now they're saying that that's not true. The new one is that what? Someone left a cigarette lighter on an armchair, and that's where the fire started, man. Come on, man. So luck here. Let me know if you can see it. It's probably a bit too small. I'll blow it up here. Okay, that's Tawab. So this is a new crossfire in 1981, 41 years ago. So the new cross house fire was a fire that occurred during a party at a house in New Cross, southeast London, in the early hours of Sunday, 18th of January, 1981. The blaze killed 13 young black people, aged 14 to 21. Look at that, man. From the age of 14 to 21. 14, man. At 14, you're not even left school yet, man. You're a child. Young black people burnt to death. Young black people had the skin melted off their bones, man. Young black people just trying to have a party. Just have a party and enjoy themselves. At that time, we wasn't allowed into white clubs, man. All the clubs played discotheque, man. And we wanted a little club for us. We wanted a little club for ourselves. So what do we have to do? Have a house party, man. That's where house parties come from. House parties don't come from a black man just wants to have some fun. House parties came because why we wasn't allowed in the white man's club. And let me tell you something, black people are so great. We're so wonderful. We had something called a shubbing, man. You know what I mean? Because we wasn't allowed in their clubs, we said, you know what? We ain't got no money. We can't afford clubs. We can't afford a liquor license, man. Let's just move the sofas to the side and turn the light off. And, get a big speaker and have a house party, man. That's what we did. And guess what? Them parties became the greatest parties, man. Became wonderful parties. That's how great black people are. That we can make nothing and turn it into something, man. And guess what? Guess you wanted to come to these shubbings, man. Guess you wanted to come to these house parties? Them same white people that said we can't go to theirs, man. That's how great black people are, man. We are the same people that turned ackee and saltfish into a national dish, man. Ackee and saltfish is slave food, man. They put salt on the fish. Why? So the fish don't go rotten. Before they had freezers, they used to just rub the food in salt, man. Cover it with salt to kill all the bacteria. And black people turned that slave food, man, and turned it into a wonderful dish. Now, who do you see in the Jamaican shop talking about, can I get a mutton soup, boss? The same white man that gave us that mutton soup, man. The same white man that gave us the oxtail. Nobody eats the tail of the ox, man. Tail of the ox is poor man food. The tail of the ox is for poor people, man. And black people took that tail and said, yo, made it delicious, man. Now, oxtail is probably one of the most expensive things on the menu when you go to a Jamaican shop, man. Why? Because that's how great we are. That's how great black people are, man. We can turn nothing and turn it into something. So we used to go to these shubbings, these house parties. Why? Because they wouldn't let us into ours. And they saw us having fun. And as usual, what the white people say, oh, they're causing too much noise. They're causing too much ruckus. And what did they do? Petro bomb it, man. One moment. Shalom, Mawasai. How about you?
Yeah, how about you, brother?
The blaze killed 13 black people aged 14 to 22, and one survivor took his own life 2 years later. And look at that, man. One of the survivors took their own life 2 years later. Imagine this: you saw your good friends burned to death, your good friends dead, and even though you survived, life ain't the same no more. You can't function. After seeing what you saw, you're traumatized, man. I've seen what you saw. You can't live no more. You just can't get right. You can't just operate and go back to school like everything's normal. You can't operate and go back to work like everything's normal. You just lost your friends, man. 1 minute you're dancing, having a wonderful time. Next minute, your friends have been murdered, man, burnt to death. You almost burnt to death. That's tragic, man. It's what you call PTSD, man. Post-traumatic stress disorder. And that's what black people have. And guess what? Nobody gives a damn. Brothers come out of jail, man. That's to do a 20-year stretch. And they expect us just to live life. They go, yeah, go on now. Go live your life. How are you going to live your life when you've been locked up for 20 years, man? And no one gives us counseling. And we end up back in jail and they go, listen, see, black people just can't get it right, man. They just can't get their life right. Something's wrong with them, man. Imagine this, Mawasa. Imagine you're in jail for 20 years ago. Mawasa, what was happening 20 years ago?
Lot of things was happening 20 years ago, but the major thing is 9/11.
So 20 years. So your black man locked up 20 years ago. 20 years ago was what? 2010.
2010. No, 2001. 2001, yeah.
So 20 years ago, internet just kind of come out. There was no iPhones. You know what I mean? No iPhones, no touchscreen, no smart TVs, no YouTube. You lock him up and then spit him out and say, yo, go live your life. This man's like, what's this? What's an iPhone? He can't adapt into normal life, no society. Imagine you went in jail and you come out and there's these orange scooters everywhere in town and contactless payments and all them type of things there. How is this man supposed to adapt, man?
No, No, you can't. It's gonna give you. It's gonna give you head problems. Cause most people out here can't even use it anyway.
You're gonna be in problems. And then 1 second, you got 2 cameras on here, you know. 1 second, let me kick one out.
I'm cutting off one.
I'll kick out one. Yeah, like what you said, you're gonna be in problem. I remember brothers that go to jail. If you go to jail at 18, guess what? When you come out of jail, in your mind, you're still 18. You know what I mean? You feel 18, you come outside, but you're 50 now, gray beard. You know what I mean? You can't do what you used to do when you're younger. A lot of the brothers that go to jail young come out, don't even have a driver's license, man. They're grown. They're physically, their body's old. It's a grown man, but inside they're babies.
Yeah, but your mind is still playing catch up because all of the things we've introduced to you, they're gonna say, "Where were you? You're way
There you
behind."
go. And they're just the babies inside. And they try. That's what you see brothers trying to play catch up, trying to go to the party and try to go to dances and so forth. These brothers are destroyed, man. They're destroyed. And imagine it's so sad. But some brothers, they've been in jail so long, it's probably best to stay in jail. They've been their mind is in jail. They can't come outside and live a regular life. How is it you've been in jail your whole life, no driving license, no, you don't know nothing about the outside world, and you're supposed to come out and live life? In jail, you get fed. In jail, you have a structure. In jail, for the day you die, you get fed and you get a roof over your head. Now you're supposed to come out and work and have rent and have bills. These brothers say, you know, it's probably better inside. And they just spit you out. You traumatize, your mind ain't the same. You don't see, you've been locked away. Nice hot days, you're in your cell, you've been locked away for long. You're mentally destroyed, man. It's like him also.
I was talking to a brother one time, and he says the time when he went to prison, an old man. He was saying the time when he went to prison, he could when cars in, he could walk past a car on the road. No, things are going so fast, you not even know how to cross the road. No.
Listen, let me tell you something. The brother I know that got locked up for like the 20-year stretch, and he said when he came out, he went to the public toilet, and you know how the soap dispenser, he ejects the soap out. You put your hand under it. He said he jumped out of his skin, man. So they couldn't believe the soap dispenser. The soap dispenser dispensed soap in his hand. They couldn't believe it. It's like, whoa, what's this?
And you just infrared soap something when you pass.
Yeah. And you just put your hand under the sink and the tap just opens up. And you want a man like that just to live his life and go out there, go live your life. He lost it, man. You've done destroyed him. And that's what they do. That's why that brother just couldn't live no more. His mind wasn't the same. Even after what he went through, he killed himself, man. Couldn't live no more. And that's the life we live, man. The life we live is normal to them. They make movies about it, they laugh about it, they rap about it, but it's not normal, man. Seeing your parents die of a drug overdose ain't normal, man. These are the things that we live with. Being harassed by the police, man. Coming over here in the 60s at the Windrush and getting called coon and gollywog, and you can't even leave your house because the teddy boys rush you. You go to a job and you're not getting paid the same amount as your white counterparts. You're paying £5 at the time rent for one room when the white man's paying £5 a week for a whole house with a back garden and front garden. You know what I mean? Black people in the 60s in the Windrush used to queue up to have a bath, man. You queue up to have a bath. On top of that, you got to raise children, man. On top of that, the drugs in your neighborhoods, black on black crime. You can't be the same, man. Our life, the life we live, if we weren't strong and the people of the Most High, listen, we'll be crazy as well, man. It's only because the Lord has mercy on us, man. Let me read some more, Salakia. And it reads, no one has been charged with the fire. For forensic science subsequently started inside the house. Inquests into the death were held in 1981 to 2004. Both inquests recorded open verdicts. And look at that, man. 13 black people burnt to death, man. One guy in the show, his hand was melted and he went to physiotherapy, you know what I mean, to try to get his hand better. And as he clenched his fist, the skin would rip. And he had a family member that worked on the same ward as a nurse, and they said they could hear him crying like a baby, man. 13 black people burnt to death because no one don't know about it. No one cares. You know, black man, your life cares, man. Your life matters, but in England, your life don't matter, man. According to God, you matter, man. But because we disobey God, no one cares about our life. We the people that die all the time. A life don't matter so much that in Ukraine, everyone's running in a frantic, everyone's running, trying to find somewhere to go, and they see you like, move, nigga. That the government officials, I like, yeah, black man, get to the back of the line. You ain't Ukrainian, you can't get on this bus. Now I can understand if the Jamaicans in Ukraine were people like the Somalis we got in England, scrounging after government, came here free on a refugee passport, came like the Polish. No, these ain't people scrounging. These are people that what are students, man, that paid money to go to your country, funded your country, paid your universities. These are the people. These students are the reason why your university professors get to pay their mortgage. These ain't scroungers. And one woman goes out, she even lied and said she was pregnant, and the Ukrainian man said, I don't give a damn. And these are the people I must cry for. Nah, man. I cry for black people, man. Black man, while you're loving everybody, nobody loves you. While you're loving everybody, who loves you, man? While you go to the Christian church and say, oh, praise God, praise Jesus, who's praising you, man? Who's crying for the black on black crime all over the globe, man? In America, China, France, England, Jamaica, Barbados, every ghetto you name it, man, black people are in there suffering, and no one's ever came to our rescue, man. No one's ever raised money. No one's ever, donated money to black people. No one's ever done anything like that, man. The amount of things I've seen people donate to, I've never seen no one donate to black people, man. I've seen people donate to them big belly Africans and Oxfam with a flyer on their face. I've seen people donate money to sponsor a dog, man. Can you believe that man was sponsor a dog, man?
I know. I can you can you imagine the amount of some insurance? I used to do some insurance thing, and I see the amount of money people die and leave with dog and cat. I said, Jesus Christ, what a wicked, dreadful, and unreasonable people.
No, I mean serious. Growing up, yeah, there used to be advert, man. I used to be sponsor a dog for just £1. And I thought you get to keep the dog. You don't even get to keep the dog, man. You sponsor the dog, meaning what? You feed the dog and you make sure his bills are paid for, his medical bills are paid for, but you don't get the dog, man. When I got older, I listened properly, and they go, we were sending you pictures of your dog's progress and blah, blah, blah. I thought, raw, you don't even keep the dog. This dog got more sympathy than black people has. Imagine that, Mama. So imagine that advert that got played, you saw that advert, and the next man saw that advert, and the next man all over the UK, man, saw that same advert, and everyone donated £1 to that dog. That dog is super rich, man. That dog's a millionaire. There's 60 million people in the UK, and if all of them give £1 to that dog got more money than Snoop Dogg, man. Got more money than Puff Daddy, man. Got more money than Mayweather, man. And that's a dog. Meanwhile, when black people are hungry, no one gives us a handout. You say, yo, listen, we don't owe you nothing, man. You're free now. Ain't nobody holding you back. Education's there. It's free. It's there for everybody. The only person holding you back is yourself. Even black people say it, man. Even coon black people say it. Listen, the white man don't owe you nothing, You don't owe you nothing. Meanwhile, a dog can get a handout, man. A dog with a 10-year life expectancy. A dog that, eats in the rubbish. A dog that has sex with anything. Living like a king, man. Had £90 million. So lucky, living good. And you don't even own that dog. You just see its progress. You see it getting stronger. And in 10 years it dies a millionaire. It's lucky, man. Also. Oh, I thought you were saying something.
No. But I want to ask a question. Did you go to school here?
I go to school here.
Because I'm trying to work out for the longest while. How does these kids just grow up and have this disregard for even black kids who then go around, especially when they come to the white counterpart neighborhood, They just seem to say, okay, we don't have to talk to them now because we are in a predominantly white area. But when we go past their area, we can say, I we go to school. We can't really understand. So sometimes you have to ask, did they put something in the food or something?
Sorry, bro. Say that one more time. I'm not catching it. Please, if you could, one more time.
I'm saying, like you guys go to school and you pass through the education system, yeah?
Yeah.
When they grow up with these so-called white kids and they play with you and thing along the way, but as soon as they reach like in a predominantly white neighborhood, they start acting like they don't know you. But when they see you somewhere by yourself or you other black guys, they'll come and start talking up to you. But sometimes I have to really wonder how them really maintains that kind of sanity, because sometimes I have to wonder if something I put on the food to program them.
Listen, I couldn't tell you, but what you're saying, I've seen myself. You know what I mean? I went into a black school, black and Asian school, and a few white people in the school, not much. And the white people in the school, they just act black and talk to like they're black, everything. And listen, Them same few white people, if you see them today, they're white now, man. They was acting black for that time, and now they found themselves. That was an old phase. That's something I used to do. Something in my young days. They're white now, man. And let me tell you something, black man, you're black for life. This is something that you can't put on and take off when you're ready. That's why black man, we can't let anyone in our culture, man. For them, it's a phase. Yeah, man, the rice and peas and yeah, the drill and this, that, the drill and the knife and this, that. For them, it's a phase. Black man, we're black for life, man. This is nothing we put on. And they'll use it for now because it's all cool and it's culture and it sounds good. And when they get older, they go, nah, man, I'm a respectable white man. That there's horrible, man. And they'll put that down and they will abandon you, man. Like what Mawasar said, man. That's why we need our own, man. You know what I mean? If you could, Mawasar, give me a Deuteronomy 7:6, Baba Kushar. You know what I mean? It's a shame, man. It's what the law said about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. It's what God said about us. You know what I mean? How our lives do matter. Black lives matter according to the Bible, man. According to them, it don't matter. According to Boris, our lives don't matter. According to the Ukrainians, our lives don't matter. That's why we die all the time and no one cares, man. That's why they abort our babies and no one cares. That's why when the government wants to make money, they put drugs in black neighborhoods. Why? Because they see it as this. We need more police. We need more money. We need something that can fund the police, fund the prison, fund the court system. You know what to do? Let's put drugs let's put drugs in England, and then we can lock the drug dealers up for selling drugs. And this will fund more police, more youth workers, more psychiatrists. And guess who they use as an experiment? Black people. They say, yeah, we got the drugs. We need a neighbor to dump it in. I know them black people. That's what they do, man. Dump it in our neighborhoods, man. Like we're the lab rat in this experiment. Like we're the guinea pig. They won't put it in the Chinese man neighborhood. They don't put it in the Jewish man's neighborhood, man. Look at America. All the drugs is flooded where, man? In the ghetto, man. They go to New York. It's not in Manhattan. You find it in Bronx, Brooklyn, and Queens, man. California, same thing. You find it where black people are. You don't find it in the valley. You find it in downtown Los Angeles, man. Same thing in Jamaica, man. In all the ghettos. Same thing in England. You find it in Brixton, man. Peckham, Hackney, Tottenham. That's where you find it. You don't find it in the nice area. You don't find it in Stanford Hill. You don't find it in Moseley. You don't find it in Harborne. No, don't get me wrong. A few people might slip through the cracks, but as a whole, you find it in our neighborhoods, man. We're that people that no one cares about. Just dump it in the ghetto, man. They're animals anyway. They're dogs anyway. But the Ukrainians just cry for them. We gotta cry for them, man. A black woman had 4 black kids during Christmas, and she burnt them to death, man. Celebrating Christmas, and I think she made the news once. You know what I mean? Didn't really make the news much. Meanwhile, Jessica and Holly's parents did the same thing. They abandoned their daughter too, man. They abandoned their daughter too. This black woman abandoned their kids to go to the shop. Jessica and Holly's parents abandoned their daughter in Portugal, man, to go have dinner. And was Jessica and Holly's parents bad parents? No. Meanwhile, this black woman, she's a bad parent for leaving her kids. Guess what? No money was given to this black woman. But meanwhile, millions and millions was put into the investigation of finding Madeline. Trying to find Madeline, bare money and funds was put in to try to find Madeline. 10 years passed, I thought it was over. And so he was doing some more investigation. We're bringing British investigations over there. You know why? Because white lives matter to white people. And black lives don't matter. That is so bad that black people had to have a march called Black Lives Matter. Black lives should matter, but it don't. That's why we had to have a march called Black Lives Matter. We had to have a system in place called Black Lives Matter. Why? Because black lives don't matter. Had it mattered, there'd be no need for that movement, man. And also, yeah, in Hare Hills and Leeds, man, and Chapel Town, man. Same thing, man. Keep reading, Mawasar.
Book of Deuteronomy 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
And this is what God said. God said, we are holy people unto the Lord thy God. Holy means separate. Don't listen to no church, man. Ask your pastor what's holy mean. He won't even tell you. You don't know. You're going to say holy means divine and oneness with Jesus. You don't know, man. Holy just means separate, man. The Lord said we are separate people to him. Meaning there's all other nations, man. All other nations, then there's us. You know the way them I was saying. You know when you got one bag of shoes, you got bare shoes, then you got them shoes.
Yeah.
And they don't left the box until special occasion. That's a separate shoe, man. The rest of them you do painting with, and you might do look run-ins with. You know, you take them to the gym. Then you got them shoes you don't bring out, you know, unless a wedding. You know them Clarks. You got them Clarks that just stay in that box. That's us. There's all other nations out there doing their thing. Then there's us, man, separate people, man. We're separate. Got all other nations eating pork and so forth, but black people can't. We're special, man. All other nations have men having sex with men, not black people, though. We're that separate nation, man. Every nation celebrates idols. Every last one of them, Buddhists, the Africans, the Muslims, the Arabs, all them nations bow down to idols, not black people, though. God got separate rules for black people, things that we can't do, man. All other nations dealing with prostitution. Do the history. Do the history, man. The Chinese have certain called geisha girls, and the Romans have prostitution, not black women. God said the black woman is holy. God in the Bible, God said what? There shall be no whores of the daughters of Zion, man. What you see with Nicki Minaj and Beyonce, this is a new thing. This was not supposed to be. Black women are supposed to be respectful, man. Keep it in.
Karathya. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
And the Lord said, we are special people, man. We're special people. Like what I said earlier, we're the only people that can suffer and make suffering look good, man. We make suffering look good, man. We listen, chicken back is poor man's food, man. Poor people's food. The back of the chicken's bony, no meat on there, man. When black people done with that chicken back, listen, man. That chicken back soup will sell for £5, man. It will take the last fiver. When we're done with that chicken.
Cooking.
The chicken back will give it to black people scraps. The slave master had the good chicken here, nigga. Take that chicken back. Why? Because he got to feed us. He got to keep us alive. But he's not going to spend his good money and give us the good, nutritious food. But he wants to keep us alive. Why? So we can work for him tomorrow. So he gave us chicken back, man. The back of the chicken, there's no meat on there. It's pure spine. You know the way the Bible says, pure spine?
Yeah.
You think black people eat chicken foot soup because it's delicious. There's no meat on the chicken foot, man. But once we're done with that chicken foot, yo, it's delicious now.
Somebody on the road smelling it and coming.
Delicious now, man. Black people eating dumpling and butter, man. Dumpling and butter, man. You want to know why we eat dumpling and butter? Because it's cheap, man. You get yourself a cup of flour and mix it with water. You can get 10 dumplings out of that, man. And black people, the people of God, are eating dumpling, man. Flour and water, man. And a pinch of salt, so it ain't too fresh, so it can stretch. And we love it now. We think it's delicious now. But we was forced to eat this. Why? Because we were poor. We was forced to eat it because we was poor, man. Water and flour is so it can stretch and go a long way. And plus, flour is very filling. So you have that with some butter on there. It will fill your belly, man. And the butters to give it look taste. And the ones there, Baba saw. You put the butter on, slice the butter side. Give it look a taste, man. And God said we were special people. Only we could do something like that, man. Any other nation would die. Don't forget about Levi. The Haitians are so poor, they make something called mud cakes, man. They take mud and mix it with water and bake it. You know what I mean? Research it, man. They make what they call mud cakes. Read on.
Salakia. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
And what are black people?
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
And the Lord said black people are above all people, man. The word above means to be over, on top of, man. We're not equal to you. We're not below. If anyone's life should matter, black people's life should matter, man. If anyone should die, it shouldn't be us. If anyone should go without, it shouldn't be us. God said we are above all nations on the face of the earth. And look at us in 2022 being treated like dogs, man. Being treated like dogs, told us you can't get on this bus. This is for Ukrainians only. We're above them. We're greater than them, man. If anyone deserves to die, it should be you. It's just one seat on the bus, and it's got to go to a black person or Ukrainian person. Then that Ukrainian person should go without, man. And guess what, black man? They've taken our Bible and flipped it and put it on themselves. They got self-respect. They love their own people. And these are Christians, man. These are good, loving Christians that love Jesus and go to church on a Sunday and bang the tambourine and oh, holy, holy God. And guess what? They believe you should die before them. That's what's wrong with Christianity. Christianity is a spell. Christianity is witchcraft, man. When brother, every time a brother goes, so what about witchcraft? You think witchcraft is hocus pocus? It's not. Witchcraft is Christianity. Witchcraft is a spell. And guess what? Christianity is a spell, man. Christianity got black people thinking God loves everybody. God loves everybody. But every real Christian don't love everybody, man. George Bush was a Christian. And when 9/11 happened, did he say God loves everybody? God don't see color. No, he bombed Arabs, man. He bombed a race of people. He bombed Arabs, not Chinese, not his own people. He went for Arabs. He didn't say there's some good Arabs. He didn't say some bad Arabs. He didn't say I'm going for the Taliban only. He bombed Arabs, man. Don't tell me race don't matter, man. Ukrainians in time of need say, damn, listen, we're riding with Ukrainians only. If you're black, you gotta die, man. If you're Ukrainian, you gotta die. And when it all blows over, guess what? You're gonna go back to being loving Christians, man. Gonna go back to being nice, loving Christians. These same people that said you can't get on this train, guess what? Was probably in church 2 Sundays ago before Putin declared war, man. He was probably talking about God loves everybody just 2 Sundays ago. The Christianity they teach us is a spell, it's witchcraft, black man. Witchcraft, man, makes you bang a tambourine and play the organ and feel good about yourself. And as soon as you leave that church, black man, reality kicks in. Imagine that you're a black man banging a tambourine, talking about God's all love, 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 equality. As soon as the service done, the drugs being sold, man, outside that church. Shots going off outside that church. That is witchcraft. You can't see that. Something is wrong with you, man. You're under a spell. Something should make you go, hold on. Church is all love, love, love. But as soon as I step out and go to my neighborhood, drugs are being sold. Not in the white man's neighborhood, just mine. Black kids are getting killed by the police, not white kids. So why do black people suffer? I thought God loves everybody. If God loves everybody, last time I checked, black people are people too. Why are black people being punished? And we don't even ask them questions. You know why? Because God's going to save us one day. And this don't really matter. It's all temporary, man. Don't worry about it, man. You're going to go to heaven one day and float up on a cloud, and we forget about reality. Meanwhile, white people don't forget about reality. If you're going to die and go to heaven one day, then why is Putin even fighting for Russia, man? I thought this life don't matter. I thought the real life is up there with God, man. And that's what they teach us and keep us nice and dumb. Keep us nice and dumb. And black people don't want to be better in life. We don't want a country of our own. We don't want a language of our own because one day we're going to heaven. And while we think, well, I'm trying to get my life up there, the nation's like, yeah, you wait for heaven. Right, I'm getting these diamonds right now. I want this oil right now. Let's wage war on Ukraine. Let's take the oil, man. Take the resources. They're expanding, Mother Sir. They're expanding. Putin got Russia, and Putin ain't happy with Russia. Putin wants Russia and Ukraine. They're expanding and doing stuff for their life and going far in life, while black people is wishing on a fairy tale. Oh, don't worry about oil. Don't worry about diamonds. Don't worry about fixing black on black crime. I'll wait for Jesus to come back and he'll do it.
Just keep it 9 to 5.
Sleep, man. You know what I mean? We're asleep, man. That's why the Bible calls us the walking dead. I'm gonna die and go to heaven, and let's not really fight. Do something with life because that's rather just die, go to heaven, and do it much easier. Putin's like, yeah, man. More diamonds for us. Let me get some more diamonds and resources, and let's expand. We got Russia, but we want Ukraine too. I want Russia and Ukraine. Make my country look bigger. You know what I mean? Make my population bigger. Make my army bigger, man. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting nukes. Yeah. Why is Putin got nukes, man? Why is he fighting for? If we're all gonna die and go to heaven, Mr. Christian. Why does Boris have nukes, man? I thought his life don't matter. So if you die, it don't matter because you're going to heaven anyway. Who cares? But they got nukes. They're like, listen, I ain't gonna be a slave to not other nations. Ain't no Russian gonna come in here and have me speaking Russian. I'm not gonna build in a Russian. I got this gold. I'm fighting for mine. I thought the gold don't matter. I thought all this is materialistic and it's all stupidness. And really, your house is up there, man, with God. Black man, we've been played, man. We've been played, man. Read it again from the top.
So like, yeah. The book of Deuteronomy 7 verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
But we're above all people that are on the face of the earth. But what? We're in a Christian church, man. And what I spoke about Christianity being a drug, it's in the Bible too, man. Give me Isaiah 29:9. Black people, listen, the Bible says we are spiritually drunk, man. We are spiritually under this illusion. We're spiritually under a spell, man. That's in the Bible also, man. Let me get it for you real quick before we move on. Book of Isaiah 29. Let me start about 8. So look here. Yeah, give me Isaiah 29:9, Slack, yeah.
29. The book of Isaiah 29 verse 9. Stay yourself and wander. Cry ye out and cry.
So this is the Lord speaking to Isaiah. and saying go outside and wander. Like you look at black people, Hispanics, Native Indians, just wonder like what's wrong with them? What's wrong with us? Why can't we get it together, man? Every other nation say what's wrong with black people? Why we can't get it together, man? We're gonna find out, man. Keep reading.
Slakia. And cry. They are drunken, but not with wine.
And the Bible says we are drunken, but not with wine. When a man's drunk, what? He slurs his words. He can't see things for what it is. He's not in his right frame of mind. And the Lord said, we're drunk, man. We're like a drunken man. We're a nation of people that are drunk, but not with wine, though. You're a black man in a church, you are drunk, banging a tambourine, man. Banging a tambourine, serving the God of the same people that put you in slavery. How is that a white man going to whip you back? Teach you that you're 3/5 of a man? Teach that you're a nigger and this and that and rape a woman? Rape a woman and say, right, come to church on Sunday now, man. Slave masters made black people go to church on Sunday, and black people became Christian because why? He said, if you be a Christian, you get a day off on Sunday. And here's you working 7 days a week. So you think, you know what, fuck it. Sorry. You say, you know what, come then. Let me get a day off. If you're in the church saying, I love Jesus and God, and this is the real book of the Bible, I love God and Jesus and the white man, you're drunk, man. Who serves the God of their enemies? Who does that? How is the man going to whip you back and then teach you God? How is the man going to rape a woman and say, anyway, this is the real God, the merciful, loving God. That's his God. He's a rapist. How's the man going to make you work from sundown to sun up, swinging a machete, cutting cane, and will muzzle your mouth? The man will muzzle your mouth so you can't take a bite of cane, man. They had a mask they'll put on black people. They put a mask on you and pad up the back. Because God forbid if you was cutting some cane, you might take a bite. You know, you might lose some money because one slave took a bite of cane, man. And that evil bastard was a Christian. And in 2022, we're banging a tambourine, being his friend. You must be drunk, man. We must be drunk, man. We must be under a strong delusion, man. Must be. How can black people be dying more than anybody else? And we say, yeah, color don't matter. How can black people be number one in diabetes and we say color don't matter? How can black people be number one in AIDS and in the graveyard and every disease you name it, black people are number one? And we say, color ain't nothing to do with it. It's all coincidence. We must be under some strong delusion, man. Keep reading.
Slakia. They stagger, but not with strong drink.
We stagger, but not with strong drink. Strong drink is another word for alcohol. Wine is alcohol made from grapes. And strong drink is your other alcohol, your rum, your brandy, your whiskey. And with people staggering, like a drunk man can't walk straight. That's why the police give him the alcohol test, which they make him walk on a straight line, because they know a drunk man can't walk in a straight line. And we're a nation of people staggering. Stagger to the mosque, stagger to the church, stagger to Rastafarianism, Afrocentrism, talking about the pyramids and Ra and this and all sorts. We're people staggering, man. When the Arabs was the one that enslaved us before the white man, and even after the oppressor. So why would we serve their God also? The Chinese believe in Buddha and idols and all that garbage that's there. Idols that we are greater than. We make them idols. So how are we going to bow down to it, man? You know what I mean? We're people staggering from different philosophies to that philosophy, joining our oppressor. You got David Lammy wanting to be in politics, man. This same politics that's crooked, the same politics that hates black people, the same government that deported black people that was like 60 years old, 70 years old, who did nothing wrong, but then brings in Afghans that fought against England. The Afghans fought against England. The war on terrorism was against Afghanistan. Bin Laden is from Afghanistan. English soldiers have died by the hands of the Taliban. If anyone needs to come to England, it's not the Afghans, I'll tell you that. And England brought the Afghans in over you, black man. Over you that built this country, man. Over you that built the railroads, that built the underground, that built the NHS, man. And to you for you to be in the politics, we must be drunk, man. Something ain't right there, man. So Lakia, keep it in.
Lakia, verse 10. For the Lord had poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep.
There you go. And that's that spirit. The Lord said we're drunk, but not with wine. This is what we're drunk with, the spirit of deep sleep, man. We are just asleep. That's what we're drunk with. And what's that deep sleep? Christianity. We just can't see it, man. We just can't see it. 2022, we still love our oppressors. 2022, we just want to get on with everybody else. The Pakistani man in England, he don't want to get on with nobody else. He owns the off license and the petrol station and the chip shop and the news agent. And guess who he hires? His brothers, man. And black people still love everybody. A black man won't say, you know what, I'm gonna make a job where I hire my people. Tell a brother, yeah, listen, We only ride with black people. Nah, man, you can't say that, man. Nah, man, that's racist, man. You can't do that, man. Meanwhile, everybody else is doing it and they're thriving. The Chinese man opens up Chinatown where he sells Chinese food and employs Chinese people that can't even speak English, mind you. You can speak English well. Had he given you the job, business would have been smoother. Would have been much more smoother. You know how to work the till, how to deal with the customers, upsell the whole nine. But guess what? He hates you so much, he would never give you a job. Even though the employment rate in the black community is very high, he would never, man. He'll give his cousins before he gives you. He'll give a Chinese man that don't speak English way before he gives you. You're asking the man, yo, boss, does this come with a drink? Huh? I don't. Listen, in every Chinese shop, listen, there's one man that speaks English. One. There's one. Everyone else don't speak English. And they rely on that one man to do all the speaking. Now, wouldn't it ease some stress off him if there's a couple man there that spoke English? But listen, they'll rather hire their own and stress that one man before they hire a black man. Everyone loves their own, but not black people, though. You can't say that, man. I'm a hiring man. I gotta hire him, man. I went to Russell's the other day. Yeah, Russell's a black shop in Brum, man. I couldn't believe what I saw behind the counter, man. Saw an Indian woman behind the counter, man. And I thought, would you look at this? Imagine that she got all the news agents, all the off licenses, all these people that can employ her. Guess what? She got black people also. She got all the news agencies, all the off licenses, all the chip shops, and black people too. I mean, all black people got is ourselves. All the people that will hire us is us. Black people only can work in a barber shop, food shop, and nowhere else. Indian woman got all the people and you also. That's because what? Black people, you know. Imagine that a black woman could feed her kids off that money. A black man could pay child support off that money, but no, he can't. Because why? We gave it to an Indian woman that don't need it, mind you. That's that spirit of deep sleep the Lord put upon us. Keep it in.
So, okay. And close your eyes.
And the Lord closed our eyes. Our eyes are closed, man. Not literally, but closed. When your eyes are closed, you can't see. And we're a nation of people that just can't see. Just can't see, man. How many more black people got to die by the hands of the police for black people to say, something right here, man. I'm waiting. How much more black people got to get killed by oppressors, man? How many more police got to kill black young kids for us to go, hold on, something right here, man. How much more? How many more times black people got to be insulted on the internet, man? Insulted on TV for black people to go, you know what? I don't think the oppressor likes us, man. How many more black people got to be deported for black people to go, you know what? I don't think England loves us, you know. I don't think England loves us because they deported our old people, blocked them off the NHS. You know, one black man had cancer and they wouldn't give him NHS treatment. Meanwhile, immigrants come over here all the time to get NHS treatment, man. That's what Brexit was about. Because why? The Polish and the Eastern Europeans was rinsing the NHS, man. Black man, you can't rinse it though. Imagine you built it, your grandparents built it, and you can't get a crumb out of it, man. You gotta get kicked out. And black people still love the oppressor. Still gotta marry their women. Still gonna marry. The other day I saw a video of Carnival, man. Listen, there's no black people in Carnival, man. Everyone had white couples. Everyone was coupled up and, you know, mixed with them and, you know, nice, happy families with them. We invited them into our own thing, which Carnival's against the law, mind you, but our own thing. We've invited all nations in, man. Meanwhile, there's an Indian festival called, I think, called Vaisakhi, and it's for Indians. Just Indians. Anyone from Brum knows about it. I'm not sure if they do it in Gloucester as well.
Yes, I do. Yeah, they do.
Vaisakhi? You would never see no blackface in there. You won't see no blackface in there. Black people have something called Sound Clash. Remember Sound Clash?
Yeah.
And in Sound Clash, one of the you had like Ricky Trooper, you had Kilimanjaro, you know what I mean? Where black man, like a Sound Clash is like a DJ has his own selection of, you know, records and whatnot, and he'll clash another man. Just, you know, friendly fun. You know what black people do. See who's the better DJ. And guess what? There's a man all the way from China, man, called Mighty Crown. And he was in the Sound Clash.
Yep.
Why? Because we invited him in. There's another man called Radigan, David Radigan, man, a white man, in our thing, man. Famous and making money of arting. So he makes money. He got the whole world to make money from. And he got arting as well, man, to make money from as well. We invite them in. And when you say something that you can't say it's racist, listen, you can't tell the man he can't come in arting. That's racist, man. Let Eminem rap, man. Let so-and-so do this, man. Nah, man. Stop doing that, man. You're just acting like the black KKK, man. Why? Because our eyes are closed. We just can't see it, man. Keep it in.
Black here. The prophet and your rulers, the seers are ye covered.
And there you go. The Bible goes, your prophets and your rulers and the seers have you covered. Who's our prophets, rulers, and seers, man? Your pastors, the man you go to when you want to know about God. And in them times, the prophet was the man you go to when you want to know about God. You want to change your life and fix up. You go to a prophet back then. You go to a seer. A seer is the same thing as a prophet. Your wise men. And today our pastors are our seers. Our deacons are our seers. They are prophets. And the Lord said they're blind also. In 2021, like 2022, life ain't going so good. Who do you go to, man? Your pastor, man. And guess what? Your pastor just is lying to you, man. Love everybody. God loves everyone. God don't care if you're gay. You know, you got a good heart, man. The Lord closed their eyes to you, man. Down to the pastor don't know the word of God, man. I used to play games with my pastor, man. I came in the truth. I used to play games with him. I say, Pastor, where's Nazareth? He don't know. This is a man that been doing this for 20 plus years, 30 plus years, man. You can hold a sermon. You can hold a sermon chatting nonsense for half an hour. God loves everybody, and the Lord, and this, and sweat and bang and tambourine. This man don't know basic geography. What you been learning for 30 years, man?
And he's gonna tell you how much years he's been preaching.
Yeah, he can tell you about the love of God and Jesus and the blood, and he speaks all these words. You think, wow, he's holy, man, and the love of God and Jesus and the blood of this and the that and the Gentile graft. All these nice words, man. I said, where Jerusalem? You don't know. What does holy mean? I'm not too sure. What does it mean to? You kept saying you're under the blood of God. I go, what does it mean to be under the blood of God? You don't even know. But the things he's preaching, he don't even know himself. But does it sound good? Listen, there's no learned men in the face of the earth more than the men in the I.S.U.P.K. We know everything, man. It might not look like it. We might look rough and have the beard and the boots and the big baggage. We know everything, man. Your pastor don't know jack. Ask him. He talks about the Philistines. Ask him. So who the Philistines, man? Where is the land of Palestine? He don't even know. He ain't got a clue, man. He ain't got a damn clue, man. Listen, we keep reading.
Verse 11. And the vision of all became unto you as the word of a book.
Keep reading.
That is sealed.
So the Lord saying that these visions come to this Bible is like a book that's sealed, meaning none of us saying the pastor don't understand it, and even the average man don't understand it. This book is a book that is sealed. Keep reading.
The book that is sealed, which men delivered to one that is learned.
So men deliver this book to one that is learned. Who is one that is learned? Your pastor, your deacon, you remember the PhD, the scholars. This book was given to one that's learned. Keep reading.
Saying, read this.
That's what we say to our pastors. Read this, break it down for me. Tell me what this means. Tell me what I should do with my life. We done?
And he said, I cannot, for it is sealed.
And your pastor can't read this book because to him it's sealed. Your pastor, I can't read this, it's sealed. And what do pastors say about the book of Revelation? Well, no one knows the book of Revelation, man. That book's sealed, man. We do at I.S.U.P.K. And why don't your pastor know this book? Why? Because the Lord closes his eyes, man. Them same people ever looks up to the Lord closes his eyes, man. Keep reading.
Verse 12. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned.
The book's given to a man that ain't learned. Remember, the Lord said he closed all of our eyes from the prophet to the regular man. And the book's given to someone who ain't learned, your average guy trying to change his life, your average black man, Hispanic man, native Indian man or woman trying to change their life. Keep reading.
Saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I am not learned.
And same, all of us can't get this book, man. As a nation of people, we don't know this book, man. So when you're in the I.S.U.P.K, you understand this book, man. Listen, the Lord had mercy on you, man. Use that time wisely. Don't use it. Don't know the word of God. Know the Jews are black. Know that you can't eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster and go back into the world, man. Your life means something, man. The Lord said, listen, not many black people get these breakdowns, man. Not many people get this, man. You are blessed if you come through these doors, man. You're blessed if you come through these doors, man. But anyway, let's go back to them Ukrainians, man. I think they're better than black people. And black men, according to God, you are greater than them, man. Give me the book of Isaiah real quick.
Isaiah. We are in the book of Isaiah.
1 second. No, sorry. Give me give me Isaiah 40 and 15.
Isaiah 40, verse 15. The book of Isaiah 40, verse 15. Behold, the nation are as a drop of a bucket.
And this is what God said about his nations. The same nation that turned around and said, we ain't nothing. The same nation that put drugs in our neighborhood so they can make money, man. The same nation that, tell us to go sing songs about killing each other, ruining our neighborhoods just so they can make money, just so their record labels can make money, man. The same record labels that pay black people a crumb and take all the rest of the money. So yeah, go sing about killing and whores. Go do that, man. Make money off us. But meanwhile, our neighborhoods destroyed. Why? Because we're influenced by these rappers, man. And for them, it's all about the pound, all about $1 for them, man. And the Lord said these same nations that think they're better than us, they are not better than us. Read that again.
Salakia. Behold, the nation are as a drop of a bucket.
And the Lord said the nations, all the nations are like a drop in a bucket, man. You got a bucket, you got a big bucket, and then you got a bucket of water, and a drop falls out of that water. You're not going to sweat about it, man. If it's petrol, it's different. It didn't say nation a drop of petrol. A drop of petrol is important, man. You know the way them I was saying, when you're shaking the pump, clink, clink, clink. Yeah. Every drop out, the Lord didn't say petrol, said a drop of a bucket, man. I mean, a drop of water, man. If I sent you 10 miles down the road and say, listen, get me a bucket of water, and as you're walking, a drop fell out, you ain't gonna worry about it. You're gonna say, oh shit, I gotta go back, man. I gotta go get it back. Why it's not important? And to God, these nations are not important to him, man. Got the nerve to talk about black people can't get on this bus. Like their life is important. If anyone should get on there, our life should get on there, man. Our life matters to God, and your life doesn't, man. Your life does not matter to God. You are a drop of a bucket, man. Keep reading.
And are counted as the small dust of the balance.
And the Lord said they're the small dust of the balance, meaning what? They're not significant, man. Mawasa, if you put dust on a balance, how much does it weigh?
Nothing.
There you go, man. If I was buying some rice from you, would you wipe dust off first before you weigh it? You wouldn't, man, because the dust don't weigh anything.
I hope that the dust would have put some more weight on it.
It won't make a difference. That's the nations in the eyes of God. The Lord don't even care about them, and they got their nerves to talk about us like we're nobody. And the only reason why they could do that, why? Because we disobey the Lord, man. The Lord switched it on us, man. Keep reading.
Salakia. Behold, he taketh up the highs as a very little thing.
And what's the Lord saying here? If you get it, Mawasa, if you don't understand, just let me know.
The highs are just nothing to him, just the same.
Yeah, meaning the country they live. Remember, your country is your island where all your people dwell. Saying the whole country is nothing to him.
Yeah, even the island itself is nothing to him.
Yeah, like you see the landmass of Russia. I think, wow, it's a big country. Look at the landmass. The Lord's like, ain't shit to me. The island, the country where they live is nothing to him. It's like, they're nothing. God sees black people, the same black people on drugs, on crack, the same black people everyone hates. God loves these people, man. God loves these people. And why does he love us? Why? Because we're his. We're his. Like, we love our parents, and our parents weren't nothing special. A lot of our parents worked till they died, worked dead end jobs, sweeping. Nothing great about them. And we love them. Why? Because they're just our parents. You know the ones there. We love our grandparents, man. And they didn't do nothing special. There's no statue built for them. Our parents ain't Winston Churchill. You know what I mean? They're not no one famous, but just our parents, our grandparents. And for that reason, we love them. And God loves us. Why? Because we're his kids, man. God had a covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man, and promised that, listen, your children will be my children. And for that reason, God loves us. You can read it in the book of Deuteronomy. The Lord said we were the smallest nations among all of them. And the Lord didn't love us because we were big and mighty and 1,000 of us. There's a few of us, man. And the Lord loves us. Why? Just because he loves us, man. In fact, hold that right there. Let me get that. Go back to Deuteronomy 7 and 6, I believe it is.
The book of Deuteronomy 7 verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
The Lord chose us to be
that are upon the face of the earth.
The Lord chose us to be a special people above all the other nations. The Lord chose us to be special, man. And it's how the Lord, listen, you can't argue against the Lord. It's how the Lord wanted it. The Lord made people on the face of the earth, and he chose one people to be better than them. That's how it is, man. That's life. That's life, man. Nothing in life is equal, man. You know what I mean? The Lord made zebras and made lions to eat the zebras, man. And the Lord made all other nations and made one nation to be better than them. That's how it is, man. You know what I mean? The Lord made mice Then he made cats to eat mice, man. You can't say that ain't fair, man. That ain't fair. You know, cats eat mice, and no one got no problem with that. And the Lord made one people to be better. You got the lion who's the king of the jungle, man. You got the eagle who's the king of the air. You know what I mean? You got sharks and stuff that are king of the sea, and you got the black man who's king of the earth, man. Simple as that. You know what I mean? That's also in the Apocrypha, man. Keep reading.
Do you understand Isaiah 40 verses?
No, back to Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
Oh, Deuteronomy 7 verses. The Lord thy God did not choose, the Lord thy God did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because you were more in number.
There you go.
And
The Lord didn't choose us because we're a great number and was wise and mighty and loads of us. And wow, I love them. And look how great they are, man. That's not the reason why he loves us, man. The Lord loves us, man, to the point that he's going to have to kill some of us. He loves us that much, he has to kill some of us because he wants us to rule. And he can't let us rule with homosexuals in us, man. He can't let us rule with drug dealers around us, man. So he's willing to kill some of us so the rest of us can live, man. And the love he don't love us because we're strong and mighty and there's loads of us. Keep reading.
for ye were the fewest of all people.
We were the fewest of all people. The Lord said, I didn't choose you because you were great and mighty. In fact, you was the fewest, man. There weren't much of you. Keep reading.
But because the Lord loved you.
There you go, man. The Lord chose us because he loves us. Simple as that, man. You ever had you got a child that goes to school and they ain't the smartest. They ain't passing with A, just A grades and flying through their maths and English. But they're your kid, man. And you love them and make sure they're fed and get their best. Why? Because they're the greatest in their class. Because they're the greatest at maths and English. No, because they're yours. And that's why you love them, man. You know what I mean? You got a kid some women got kids that go to jail. And you're visiting them, putting money on their books and sending clothes in for them. You know what I mean? They got a little prison phone and you're topping up their credit and so forth. And why do you do it, man? This child's is a waste of space, as society would call him. It's a letdown, but you look after me, no why? Because it's yours. Simple as that, man. And the Lord loves us simply because we're his. Nothing we done to get the attention of God, to get his love, but simply because we're his, man. For that reason, he loves us, man. So we could go back to Isaiah 40 and 15, Baba Kushar.
Book of Isaiah 40, verse 15. Behold, the nation are as a drop of a bucket,
Go on.
are counted as the small dust of the balance.
You done?
Behold, he taketh up the hiles as a very little thing.
And there's more to it, man. These nations they're not significant to God, man. They're irrelevant, man. Keep reading.
Yes, verse 16. And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering.
Come on, Mama, so break it down for me. So Lebanon isn't sufficient to burn. What's the Lord saying here?
That nothing that they have is of any importance or value to him.
Okay, in our culture, what do we burn as an offering to the Lord?
Oh, offering like animals.
There you go. So we burn offerings to the Lord, and the Lord accepts them. You know what I mean? In the Bible, we have sin offerings. You know, a brother might sin by accident and didn't know, and he can offer a turtle dove or something like that. So read back what it's saying and break it down again.
Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof. So none of their possession is not even good enough to offer to God.
There you go, man. There you go. That's exactly what the Lord's saying. So we could read that one more time, Slakia.
Isaiah 40, verse 16. And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering.
Okay, so the Lord said this. According to the Lord, if you commit a sin, to get back in the Lord's good books, you would burn an offering. And the Lord would say, you know what? You're forgiven. The Lord said, listen, Lebanon, which is a country, if they burn all their sheep, every last one of them, I still wouldn't respect them. If they burn every single turtle dove, every beast, cut their necks, put it on the altar, burnt it, then a sacrifice, it still wouldn't mean shit to me, man. You're the people that I like. Excuse my French. You're the people that I love. So Lebanon is not even sufficient. Sufficient means you got enough. I know you all know about what sufficient means. I know everyone knows about back in the day when you had insufficient. Remember, you make the phone call. You have insufficient funds to make this call. You know what I mean? Saying insufficient means you haven't got enough. The Lord saying they burn all their sheep. It's not enough. It's not enough. You know when someone tries to pay you off and you don't want it, you want what's yours. That's the Lord. You couldn't give him 10,000 sheep. If a heathen gave the Lord 10,000 sheep, the Lord would accept it. And if a black man gives one, the Lord would. Why? You're the people who he cares about. Keep it in.
Karathya. Verse 70. All nations before him are as nothing,
Read
and
that
they
again.
are counted to him less than nothing and vanity.
The Lord said, all these nations are nothing to him, man. And they are less than nothing. So imagine you got nothing, then you got less than nothing. Then that's the minus. The nations are in the minus, man. -1, -2. And these nations look at us like, we're nothing, excuse me. When God said that they are nothing, man, keep it in.
Verse 18. To whom then will he liken God? Or what likeness will he compare unto him?
All right, hold that. Give me what's it? Give me second address. I think it's 6. Give me 2 seconds. Second is 6, about give me verse 9.
The book of 2nd Ezra 6 verse 9. For
Yeah, please.
Esau and Jacob, for when, sorry, slack here. 9 is, okay. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
2 seconds, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Let me get there with you. Bear with me a second. He's just gonna get this picture real quick. 1 second. All right, Slacker. 2 seconds. I know it's verse 6. 1 minute. It is 6 and 50. 6 and 56.
6 and 56. Okay. The book of 2nd Ezra 6 verse 56. As for the other people which also come of Adam, thou art
Slacker.
said,
Try 55.
Salakia 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake.
This is what the Lord said. The Lord said he made the world for our sakes, man. Black man, you matter. Black lives matter. Imagine that the whole world was made for your sakes. Made for your sakes, man. Imagine that. You know why the Lord made water? Because he wants you to drink it, man. You know what I mean? The other nations drink water too, but it was made for you to drink. They're just getting by. The Lord made gold and diamonds. Why? Because he wants you to wear it, man. The world was made for your sakes. This whole thing was made for you to enjoy. That's in the Bible. They wear gold too, but it's made for you. They had to steal it to get it, man. The Lord made great things on the earth. Why? So you can get it. The Lord made oxygen. Why? So you can breathe it, man. This whole world was made for your sakes, not for them. Keep it in.
654 verse, sorry, okay. Come on, stop. And after these also, whom thou made Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all,
So
and
the
the
Lord.
people also
So,
whom thou art choosing.
slow down. Sorry, read that part again. Slow it down. All right. Too fast for a
Verse
minute. I want to break it down piece by piece.
6. Verse 56. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake. And as for the other people which also came of Adam,
So the
thou
Lord, if I
also,
go back, we said all thy creatures come from Adam.
okay,
Because Christians say we all come from Adam. And Ezra speaks about that. Ezra speaks, he says, yeah, we do all come from Adam. You could read that for me again. The part where it says, we come from Adam and the other people.
Salakia, verse 56. As for the other people which
No,
also,
a bit before that, Adam made
okay,
Lord over all thy
55.
creatures.
All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake. As for the other people which also came from Adam,
Oh,
thou
Slack, I
art,
must have been wrong. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 1 second. 6 and 50. I swear it was Adam, Lord over all thy creatures.
that's 56.
No, 54. So I can give me. Wait one second. Give me 54.
Oh, Adam also. Oh, made.
2 seconds. 2 seconds.
56.
Yeah. Both sides, guys. Yes, that's like yeah. Give me verse 54, Baba Kushar.
54. Okay. Second Ezra 6 verse 54. And after these, Adam also whom thou art made Lord of all thy creatures.
There you
Of
go. And
come we all.
the Lord of Adam come we all. Said Adam was what Lord over all thy creatures, all the Lord's creation. Of him come we all. Christians love to say, oh, we all come from Adam. The Bible says that, man. We do all come from Adam. Keep reading.
54. And the Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou art chosen.
And we all come from Adam, even those who the Lord has chosen. So say we all come from Adam, but even though we come from Adam, the chosen people that come from Adam. Keep reading.
Of him come we all, and the people also whom thou art chosen.
It's like about, so give me 1 second. I'm getting a reader for you, right? It's like, yeah. If you could. Let's take a break a second, all right? No, sorry.
All right, Second Ezra 6 and 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all.
And we all come from Adam, the Chinese, the white man, the Arabs, you know what I mean? We all come from Adam. That is true. And that still don't mean anything. Even though we all come from Adam, black people are still over every other nation, man. Keep it in.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
And the people that thou have chosen, all of us come from Adam and the people that God has chosen. Meaning everyone comes from Adam and the chosen people come from Adam also. Who are the chosen people? Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, man.
That's right.
Also known as what? The Israelites, man. Keep it in.
All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake.
And even though we come from Adam, the Lord made the world for our sakes, man, not nobody else. So don't tell me we all come from Adam, yes, and we come from Adam, yes. And even though we all come from Adam, the Lord had the people that he chose and he made the earth for their sakes. Keep it in.
As for the other people,
And as for the other people, what? The people who ain't chosen, the Arabs, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Ukrainians, the Russians, all those people, we done?
which also come from Adam.
And those people also come from Adam also. They're from Adam too. They're sons of Adam as well. Like my uncle says, listen, man, we're all sons of Adam, man. Yeah, I know. And even though we come from Adam, there's people that are chosen that come from Adam, and there's people that are not chosen that come from Adam. Keep it in.
Thou hast said that they are nothing.
And what did God say about them?
They are nothing.
And what did God say about them Ukrainians?
They are nothing.
And God said them Ukrainians are nothing, man. How dare some Ukrainian tell you to get to the back of the queue, man? 13 Jamaican students, man, had to walk because some Ukrainian who is nothing, man. His life don't even matter in the eyes of God, man. They look at us and say, get to the back of the queue. If you ain't Ukrainian and get to the back, if you ain't Ukrainian, you can't get on this, man. If anyone should die, it should be you, man. Because your life don't mean anything, man. And God said that. That's in the Bible, not me. So feel for Ukrainian and look on us and say, listen, you're not Ukrainian, you should die. After these Jamaicans put money in your pocket, man. They didn't go to Ukraine begging. They came to Ukraine paying, man. They paid your college professors, man. It was too expensive in their country to have an education, so they came to yours and they funded your country, put money in your country, man. They're the reason why your professors can have a mortgage and feed their kids. And them college professors do what? Pay taxes with the money that them Jamaican students gave them, man. They're funding your economy. And when your back's against the wall, you say that they must die, man. Anyone should die, it should be you, man. If bombs are going off and there's one seat, then guess what? One Ukrainian is dead, man. If there's, listen, 13 Jamaican students that are safe now, give mercy to the Most High, man. And guess what? If there's a 13-seat bus, then listen, these must survive over anybody else in Ukraine. Because their life, man, your life don't matter, man. God said that you are nothing, man. Keep it in.
But be like unto spittle.
But be like unto spittle, man. You know when you're talking and spit flies out your mouth. That's what the light spittle, man. And where do we read that? In Isaiah, man. Read it in Isaiah. Listen, Ezra is reading what Isaiah wrote. He read the book and he's saying, Lord, these same heathen that like spittle, man. Where did he read that from Isaiah? He ain't coming up with nothing new. Keep reading.
And has likened the abundance of them.
And the Lord likened what, to give an example or comparison. You know what I mean? He likened the abundance that we given. He's compared them. We done?
Abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
And that's so you know, Ezra read the book of Isaiah. He's saying, Lord, I read it in the book of Isaiah. You liken them to a drop that falleth from a vessel. Isaiah said bucket, but he said vessel. A vessel and a bucket, same thing. A vessel is something that carries water or carries liquid. A vessel, what a jug, a jar, a cup, anything that carries water. He said, Lord, you've likened them to a vessel that falleth from a bucket. When did the Lord do that, man? In Isaiah? Meaning what Ezra read Isaiah like we read Matthew and we read Luke. You know what I mean? Prophets are people that read, man. They read the Bible. He's saying, Lord, man, you know what I mean? You said that these heathen are nothing, man. In the book of Isaiah, you said this. Keep reading.
57. And now, O Lord.
And now, O Lord, read on.
Behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing.
And reputed means what? Reputation. These heathen that's always been reputed as nothing, has always had a reputation as being nothing. And where do we read about the reputation in Isaiah? These heathen has always had a reputation of being nothing, not important. We done?
Have begun to be lords over us.
And these same heathen that the Lord don't even like, they're nothing. Now the Lord's over us. Now they call it us niggas, man. Now they're deporting us. Now they're saying, if what? You're black, your life don't matter, man. You can't get on this bus. After we pay them our money. These same heathen now are lords over us, but they rule over us, man. You know what I mean? And that's the life we live in, man. The Lord said, give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15, Baba Kushar. Yeah, Baba Kushar.
And to devour us.
And to devour us, they eat us, make money off. Imagine that. They got a win-win deal. You take all our money, use our money, and then when it's time to die, we die as well. Thanks for the money, black man, but the bombs going off. I'm trying to get out of this, man. Thanks for the bombs, man, going off. You know, it's a shame. Thanks for the money for helping our country, but now you can die. That's a win-win. Imagine this. When a man looks after you, in the future, you got to look after him. That's how parenting goes. Parents look after you, and now they're old, you look after them. That's what retirement money is about. You built England for 60 years. Now it's time for you to get old, and we'll pay for you. We pay for your rent and so and so. Not when it comes to us. We make them rich. I mean, it's time for us to reap the benefits. No, nigga. You're getting deported back to Jamaica. Thanks for building the underground. Thanks for building this and that. And thanks for all your hard work, but now you gotta go. And likewise with Ukraine, thanks for your university money, man. Does anyone know how much university fees cost? Do you know? Why do you think people get scholarships, man? Because they can't pay it themselves. Why do you think people get grants and loans? Thousands and thousands of books and the courses, and they pay the teacher, it costs money. And now we pay you all that money, and now you gotta die, man. Now you can't get none of this. You should listen, black people should be the first people that get granted seats on that bus, man. That's right. But to them, our lives don't matter, man. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15.
The book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
The Lord said, we don't obey him, all these curses will come upon us and overtake us, man. The Lord said, if you don't obey me, all these curses will come upon us and overtake us. And black man, you can read on. You can keep reading from verse 15 all the way to verse 68. And every curse that you read points to black people, man. Every curse you read, when you read it, you go, whoa, that must be black people. Whoa, and that one, and that one, and that one. Give me verse 13. Let me get to one of the curses on this topic.
Verse 13. And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail.
No, read that again.
And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail. That's 13.
No, 13, 28. No. Salakia. So 13 is a blessing. If we listen to God, the Lord will make us the head and make the oppressor the tail. Read after 15, Salakia. Let me get it.
After 15. You on 16? Thus shall thou
No,
be
once again.
city.
Give me verse 44, Salakia.
4. Verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
An oppressor will lend to us, or we won't lend to him if we disobey God. That's what happened today. That's why black people, when we were alone, we got to go to him. Whoever lends you the money is the one in charge. Why cannot you owe him interest? Any man you lend from a man, that means he got it. You don't have it. If you had it, you would have to lend from. If you had it, you wouldn't have to lend from him. You feel me? So the Lord said, listen, he shall lend to you, we won't lend to him. That's why black people ask the oppressor for loans, asking for housing, asking for education, asking for everything. We're even asking for a passport to leave the country. We're asking for a driver license. We're asking for everything, man. He gives to us. We don't give to him. Keep it in.
Salakia. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
There you go. He shall be the head, and we shall be the tail, man. He's on top, we're on the bottom, man. His lives matter. Our lives don't matter. To the point that we gotta have a movement called Black Lives Matter. We gotta remind them. We gotta march to go Black Lives Matter. So they go, oh shit, right. Sorry. It does, In the eyes, we're like cockroaches, man. We're just animals, man. Animals' lives matter more than us. How is it you can beat an animal and go to jail, man? But you can beat a black man and what they say? Well, I was in fear for my life. I had to. Please kill black men like crazy, and no one gets sacked, man. No one goes to jail, man. Why we're the tail in this place, man. We're at the bottom, man. Let me get another scripture. Give me where's that one that I want, man? Give me Ecclesiastes 10 and 7, Baba Kushar.
Ecclesiastes 10 verse 7. Ecclesiastes 10 verse 7.
Good.
I have seen servants upon horses,
Keep it in.
and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
So this is Solomon seeing the future, man. Solomon said, I'm seeing servants on horses and princes walking on the ground, man, next to them. Solomon seeing them Ukrainians, man, treating us like we're filth. They're servants. God said what? They've always been nothing. They was made to serve, man. And Solomon seeing these servants sitting in 10 down the street, man. I seen black men in his ghettos on the park bench. You seen servants ruling, living in mansions, while black people live in a rat-infested 2-bedroom house, man. You seen servants living good and great. Boris Johnson said, what? $1 wallpaper, a roll, man. And meanwhile, black man making that his monthly wage. Your monthly wage is a man's one roll of wallpaper in his house. He's seeing it, man. I've seen servants on horses, and this is spiritual. This is spiritual because the picture in America with Theodore Roosevelt, man, and he's on a horse, and guess what he got beside him? 2 Israelites, man. He got Judah on one side and Gad on the other side, man, walking while he's on a horse, and that was spiritual, man. That is this scripture right here, man. Read it again.
Okay, Deuteronomy, Ecclesiastes 10 verse 7. I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
Let me show you that real quick, man. This is what Solomon saw. It's a luck. Give me 2 seconds. This is what King Solomon saw, man. Look at this is Theodore Roosevelt, man. The president, I can't remember what number president he is, but the president of America. And Theodore Roosevelt, that's where you get the word teddy bear from. Theodore for short, it's called Teddy. And he liked to hunt bears. So they made amusement parks for him and so forth. And you've got the teddy bear, like the Theodore's bear. You hunt, like bear hunting. That's where you get teddy bear from. And look at him on his horse looking all courageous. And beside him, you got Gad, man, also known as the Native American Indians. And the other side, you got Judah, man, also known as a black man. What are they doing? Walking on their foot, man. While he sits on a horse. Solomon saw this, man. Don't tell me this Bible ain't a real book of God, man. Don't tell me that, man. The Bible's correct, man. So luck, yeah. Let me drop that real quick. Drop that real quick, man. Guess what? And in 2022, our lives don't matter. Let me tell you something. 10 years from today, people are going to be talking about Ukraine, and no one's going to talk about the 13th Street massacre, man. No one's going to be talking about the New Cross massacre. Nobody going to be talking about the fires. Them people's names are not, no, they ain't known now. But everyone going to talk. If Christ don't come back in 10 years' time, they're going to be talking about Ukraine. They're going to have 1 minute silence and talk about how horrible Putin was, how disgusting Putin was, just like how they talk about how disgusting Hitler is. Oppressors want us to hate Hitler. The Jewish man wants us to hate Hitler. They want us to hate Putin. But meanwhile, you don't see why we should hate you. Putin has been a monster to the Ukrainians. And guess what? You've been a monster to black people, man. So like I said.
And also to with Putin, he said that with Ukraine, they're Nazis. There's a picture that the Ukrainian army has, and there's a SWAT sticker in the back. And when he said that, everyone ignored that. They didn't say, well, I mean, why would he say something like that? They're only emphasizing on him trying to take over Ukraine. But he said, it goes, no, he goes, they follow a Nazi beliefs, Ukraine.
Will surprise me, man. And the person wants me, he wants us to take on his beefs. If you say, listen, I don't hate Nazis, you go, why? They're disgusting, nasty people. Didn't you see what they did to the Jews? You say, I don't hate Putin. You should hate Putin. He's a horrible person. He's a filthy man. Look what he's done to the Ukrainians. But meanwhile, you don't see why we should hate you. You've been Putin to black people for 400 years, man. You've been Hitler to black people for 400 years, man. Hitler was nasty to Jews for 6 years, man. You were nasty to black people for 400 years. You came, put us in your slave ship, man. Imagine that they put us in the slave ship, shackled us, man. And if any black man got sick, they'll throw him overboard. They didn't want him getting the other slave sick. Throw him overboard to the point that what sharks will follow the ship, man. Had brothers on their back drowning to death in women's period blood, man. Imagine so much women on the ship that them little drips of period blood became a pool, man. That's how much women it was. And would drown brothers, man. And you don't understand why we should hate you. They took us to the Caribbean and stuff. It made us cut cane, swing a machete, man, to your back hurts. Imagine this other one. Nowadays, we were slaveries. And we have, well, what do we have? What's it called? The what's that thing called they got in place so you can't abuse your workers, man? The HRC revenue. What's it called again? The Work Rights Act. Yep. We got the Work Rights Act. Guess what? We got annual leave, man. We got days off as well because we're still tired. Imagine that same slavery back in Jamaica, man, with a hot sun, swinging a machete, and no annual leave, no bank holidays. But tomorrow you're gonna work again. The day after you're gonna work again. The day after you're going to work again. At least today you got the weekend to look forward to. Imagine there was nothing to look forward to. And you did that to black people, man. Black men couldn't get a hope like, but listen, at least the weekend's coming. There was no hope. Every day went to bed crying. Imagine going to bed thinking, when's this going to end? When is this going to end, man? All you did was swing a machete, sun up, sundown, sun up, sundown, sun up, sundown, tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, until one day you was old. You was older, you couldn't swing a machete no more. You couldn't cut no cane no more. They'll kill you, man. If they couldn't find place in the house, no place in the house. If you're a muscle man or something and you don't look good in the house, they got no use for you, man. Like, what do you do with a car that you got no use for? You don't make payments on the car no more. The car don't work. You scrap it, and they scrap black people, man. And you don't understand why we should hate you. You want us to hate Putin. You want us to hate Hitler. And we should hate you. Look what you've done to us. You've been a Nazi to us, man. You've been Putin to us for 400 years, man. Then even after that, release us from slavery and put drugs in our neighborhoods, man. Put drugs in our neighborhoods. Ruin black families. Ruin black families, man. You had men on their knees doing homosexual acts just to get some of that crack, man. Men selling crack, ruining families, got crack babies. You know what I mean? Women abandoning their babies, leaving them in abandoned houses just so they can get hit, man. Just so they can get high. And guess what? You did that to us. Your people did that to my people, man. Good old Christians did that to my people, man. After I deported the Windrush, first brought black people over here, man, and treat them like dogs. Black people had a hard time in the 60s, man. Slovakia had a hard time in the 60s getting rushed by the teddy boys, racial discrimination, not giving black people jobs, letting them live in a one-bedroom house. So let them live in a room, letting black people live in a room. And that's all that deported us, man. Deported black people, man. So listen, you gotta go home. You can't produce papers, go home, man. You've been Nazis to us, man. Listen, the concentration camps would have been better than how you treated us for 400 years, man. Killing our children in the streets and using your crooked court system to get murderers off, get murderers out of jail, man. You know, Preeti Patel is a kidnapper, man. Kidnap is what, man? You take someone more than what happens 5 yards from their will. And Preeti Patel kidnapped old black women, man, and put them into where? What's it called again? Detention centers, man. Immigration detention centers. Hitler rounded up Jews and put them into camps, man. You rounded up black people, man, and put them into detention centers, man. That's right. Put them into immigration detention centers, man. You've been Hitler to black people, man. You've been Hitler to black people for 400 years, man. And you think, oh, well, you know, why should anyone hate us? Hate Hitler, hate the Nazis, hate Putin. We should hate you, man. You've been Hitler to black people for 400 years and still been Hitler for black people for 400 years, man. Hitler was known for doing what to the Jews, making what propaganda, drawing pictures of Jewish people, man, with big noses. And what do you do to us, man? The same thing, man. You put a gollywog on a jam jar, and the same Robinson jam that people buy today, man, 60 years ago had a black man on there, man, with shabby hair, making a mockery of black people. You did the same thing to us, man. A mock us in your movies, a mock us in your films, man. So lucky, man. Let's give him a little rant, so lucky, man. We'll read it again, Baba Kashar. Speak it enough.
Ecclesiastes 10 verse 7. I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
And the Lord sent princes on horses, man. They're in service on horses. And that's his service is what your Boris Johnson, man, Theresa May, man. Living life good, man. Getting what, $1,000 worth of roll of wallpaper. Listen, wallpaper is paper. Like, I don't see why it's $1,000. What is gold in that wallpaper? What is on that wallpaper, man? So lucky, I've never seen. I wouldn't know where to get $1,000 wallpaper from. So lucky, man. No, because I know that don't sell in B&Q, man. For a fact, I know that don't sell in home base. I know it don't sell in home base, man. So where man getting it from, man? Keep it in.
Okay, verse 8. He that diggeth a pit shall fall into it.
There you go, man. The Lord said, he that diggeth a pit shall fall into it. And the same way how the oppressor built this country to oppress black people, one day he's gonna fall into that same pit, man. Gonna fall in the same pit. Listen, let me tell you something. They made nuclear wars. They make nuclear warfare. Why? To defend their countries. Guess what? They're going to destroy themselves for the same nuclear warfare. The Lord, listen, the Lord, it's prophesied in the Bible. They made the internet, why? To, you know, push pornography and all types of sin. The Lord's using that same internet, man, to wake up blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. Nowadays, you can wake a man up all the way in Jamaica, man, from the internet. We got school in Jamaica, and how did that brother come alive, man? He came alive, why? For the internet, man. Flyers and internets and YouTube videos, man. When they use it for wickedness, the same pit that he made is going to fall into it, man. He made it for one thing, but that same pit's going to kill him. He made nuclear warfare, why? To defend his country and be strong and powerful. They're going to destroy themselves for that same nuclear warfare. It's prophesied in the Bible. They're going to kill themselves with it, man. So look out for Ukraine. Look out for this Ukraine war. It might not be the time. It might not, man. It might not. I.S.U.P.K would teach from 1969. And there've been many wars since then. But this might be the one, man. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what Christ said according to the Bible. Wait 1 second. Keep reading.
And whosoever breaketh an hedge, a serpent shall bite him.
Right, give me Matthew 26 and 41. So in the book of Matthew 24, the Lord's giving signs of his coming. Nation rising against nation. Nation today. What's a nation today? A country. Nation according to the Bible is not a country. Nation according to the Bible is nationality. Nationality is your blood. When Christ said nation rising against nation, talking about blood, meaning what? Sudan versus Afghanistan. Those are two nations. Then Christ said kingdom against kingdom. So there's some countries that are nationalities, like China. Well, who else? Korea. Then you got some countries that are mixed, which ain't about nationality. It's about kingdom. Like England. England's army got what? Pakistanis in there, black people in there, Africans in there. That's kingdom against kingdom. One country against another country. And there's some countries that are built up of nations and some countries that are built up of kingdoms. That's what it's called United Kingdom. A kingdom is something you build. You take down other countries and you build yourself a kingdom. That's what America, England, France, Netherlands, those are kingdoms made up of many different races, predominantly Caucasians. Netherlands are what predominantly Dutch, England's predominantly English, which is British white, and America's predominantly the the American, who are basically English anyway, because the English went to America, the Pilgrims, and built it up. That's the kingdom against kingdom. And Christ said, for when Christ laid it down, look for earthquakes in diverse places, which we had one in Birmingham just the other day. You know what I mean? Christ said earthquakes what in diverse places, meaning what? Places where you don't really get earthquakes. And guess what? England don't ever get earthquakes. Look it up. Scientific. Do you know why England don't get earthquakes? Why? Because England is not on no plate boundaries. You need to be geographically at a plate boundary to get earthquakes. And England has no plate boundaries, man. So why is England getting earthquakes, man? The Bible says what you should have earthquakes in diverse places, different places where you don't usually get them. And Christ laid it down to his mentors about wars, rumors of wars, the whole nine. And then Christ goes on to say this. Keep it in.
So like here, Matthew 26, verse 41. Watch and pray that ye entered not into temptation.
Read that again.
Matthew 26, verse 41. Watch and pray that ye entered not into temptation.
And Christ said, watch and pray, man. When you see all these things going on, watch and pray, man. How do you watch? You watch the news, man. How do you look out for earthquakes? How do you look out for wars, rumors of wars? It's called the news, man. It's called the CNN news, the ITV news. This is how you know what's going on around the world. This is how you know Christ was a prophet, man. Muhammad ain't no prophet, man. I said it, man. Muhammad never spoke about nothing like this. Selassie never spoke about nothing like this, man. Christ said, watch and pray. Back then, Christ's disciples like, how are you meant to watch and pray? How am I supposed to know what's going on in Ukraine, man? I'm all the way in Jerusalem, man. How am I supposed to know about earthquake in diverse places, man? I'm all the way in Jerusalem, man. Because Christ was a real prophet, man. And Christ knew there's going to be a day where you can watch and pray, where you can see things across the globe. You can hear about earthquake. If you knew about, there would be something where you can type in and find about earthquake in diverse places. Where you can hear about wars and rumors of wars. A rumor of war is? A war is when one country goes to another country. A rumor that I heard, a rumor is what? I heard China don't like South Korea, you know. They ain't fighting yet, but they're gearing up to do it. That's a rumor. How could you hear these rumors if you're in Jerusalem, man? A rumor is, I heard, remember before Russia bombed Ukraine, there was what? Rumors of it happening? Yo, Putin's gearing up to go against Ukraine, you know. You know what I mean? China said they'll back Ukraine. China said they'll back Russia. South Korea don't like North Korea. All these things are rumors of wars, man. How would you hear that if it wasn't for the news, man? And Christ spoke about this, and Christ said, watch as well as pray. That's why I tell brothers, man, this might not be it, but watch, man. Watch closely so your salvation is near. And Christ said, watch as well as pray that you don't fall into temptation. I mean, while all this is going on, you need to end. You go back smoking weed. You need to end. You're close to the end, and you fall back into temptation, man. Christ said, watch as well as pray. Keep it in.
So like here, the spirit is indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
There you go, man. Christ said, pray that you don't fall into temptation. You know what I mean? Because the spirit is willing. A lot of brothers want to do the right thing, man, but the flesh is too weak, man. No brother wants to be a drug dealer, wants to be a crackhead. But why do they do it? Because the flesh is too weak, man. They give into it. They say, I just can't do it, man. The weeds are too delicious. Them holes are too good. You know what I mean? The money that all the drugs bring is too nice. You buy nice cars. And Christ said, pray that you don't fall into temptation. Why? Because the spirit wants to do good, man. The spirit wants to do the right thing, but the flesh is weak, man. Ask any drug addict, man. Ask any drug addict if he likes to be a drug addict to tell you. He said, I hate this, man. I got to kick this habit one day. I got to kick it, man. I can't live like this, man. So if you can't live like this, why are you doing it? Because your spirit is willing, but your flesh is weak. Ask every whore that sleeps with bagger, man, if they don't cry themselves to sleep at night time, man. If they can even look themselves in the mirror, like, oh my God, I can't even look at myself. I feel dirty. What is it? I want to wash my skin. What is it? I have 10 showers and I still feel dirty. So why do you do it, man? Because you know it's wrong. Your spirit don't want to do it no more, but your flesh is too weak, man. You come home drunk and the man got money saying, listen, man, you know what he's saying, man. It seduces you. And you just do it, man. You just do it. You know selling drugs is wrong. You know it's wrong, man, but you got to do it. Why? Because it brings you money, man. Like I said.
Just like with the homosexuals, homosexuals have the highest suicide rate. So, they know it's wrong, but like the same thing. In the spirit, what they're doing is not right, but the flesh and what they've been through, they've been molested and everything, it makes them weak. There
you go, like with the other one said, in case you hear it on the mic. So sexual deviants know it's wrong, man. You know it's wrong. Sleep with men and stuff, and You know, all sorts of nastiness. And then they know it's wrong, man. And he said they got the highest suicide rate because they know it's wrong, but the flesh is weak. They got a demon on them that makes them like members of the same sex, and they can't kick it, man. If you're a man that likes members of the same sex, listen, man, you need to fight that demon, man. You need to fight that demon, man. And they say if you can't fight that demon, or you don't feel attracted to the woman, then listen, you got to do what Christ said, man. Be a eunuch, man. Don't touch nobody, or you can't be touching no men. Sexual deviancy is a learned behavior. I don't care what anyone says. It's a learned behavior, man. Somewhere in your life, something happened that makes you like members of the same sex. I don't care if you grew up that way. It's wrong, man. But they say I was born this way, so I don't give a damn. We got kids out there that from they were young play with fire. We don't say we're born that way, let him play with matches. No, man, we beat him, man, and change him to the one day he don't play with fire no more, man. Some of our kids, how much? I got so much. Me myself, man. I was headed for jail. Man. Ask any of my brothers, man. Out of my mom and dad's, no, that's a lie. Out of my mom's children, I was probably the worst, man. And she didn't say, well, I was born this way. He just likes to fight and likes to smoke in the bathroom. Oh, I was born that way. From he was young, always that way. No, man. You know what I mean? When she was done with me, listen, I wasn't staying that way. I probably was born that way, but I wasn't staying that way. And likewise with the sexual deviant, man. He might have certain tendencies, man. And that's why the I.S.U.P.K is here to fix people like that, man. You know what I mean? Still, can we done?
Like a verse, verse 42. He went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done.
And Christ didn't want to die. That's why it's wicked when you come in the truth and leave, man. Christ died so you can change your life and you leave the truth. You get the truth and find out Christ is black and everything and say, it's not for me. I'm gonna go back to the Christian church. Christ did not want to die, didn't want to do it. He said, Lord, if it's your will, please let this cup pass on me. I'll do it. But I don't want it, man. If you could let it slide, please let it slide. Cry on his knees, man. Be upset about this. Keep it in.
Verse 43. And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy.
And the disciples fell asleep. Imagine Christ about to die tomorrow, and he's praying, saying, Lord, please, man. You know what I mean? Christ knew his mission. He knew his mission. And, he thought, yeah, I'm going to do this. But as it drew closer and closer, you think, oh, my God, man. Reality kicks in. You think, oh, gosh, can I really do this? And Christ didn't want to do it, man. And the disciples were on the road with him all day. Preaching with him all day, speaking, doing speakings, waking up black people all day. Their eyes were heavy. You men in the UPK, you know this, man. You know about going to London in the back of a car, man. And then coming back at 12 midnight, and your eyes are heavy, man. You know what I mean? You got a bigger next man to drive. Like, listen, you want to take the wheel, man? I'm tired, man. And the disciples went for the same thing. Christ put them into work, man. And their eyes were heavy. Keep it in.
Verse 43. Verse 45. Then came he to his disciples and said unto them, Sleep no, and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand.
And Christ said, listen, I was at hand, man. At hand means close. You know what I mean? Something's at hand. This cup is at hand. It's in arm's reach. It's close. Like you can touch it. So you know what? My time's come, man. It's about to happen right now, man. You know what I mean? Everything that was prophesied about a man dying in the Bible is today. It's going to happen. Keep it in.
Okay. Sleep on now and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners.
There you go. And the Son of Man was betrayed into the hand of sinners. To the hand of sinners. Imagine disgusting, wicked men kill Christ, man. Men that deserve to die killed a man that didn't deserve to die. Can you believe that? Men that deserve to die because they're filthy and sinners, the scribes, Pharisees, and Romans, hypocrites, killed a man that wouldn't harm nobody, man. Killed a man that wouldn't smoke cigarettes, that wouldn't commit adultery. That's what Christ meant by going to be betrayed into the hand of sinners, into the authority. You're in someone's hand, it means what? You're in their authority. You're like what? You're like, you're at their will. Is it at the will of what? Of sinners? Keep it in.
Verse 46. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand that doeth betray me.
There you go. Talking about Judas. Judas was the man that betrayed Christ, man. Why? Over money, man. Because he was a thief. Betrayed his brother, man. And then again, The flesh, he knew it was wrong. The flesh was willing, but the spirit was willing, but the flesh was weak. He knew it was wrong. And as soon as Christ died, the demon left him, left Judas with all the guilt, man. Judas killed himself. Didn't even want the money no more. See, that's how Satan works. At the time, yo, I can make some money, yo, 30 shekels. Ooh, can't wait, man. But then happens, you're thinking, I don't even want this no more, man. I don't even want this no more. That's why a lot of brothers, yo, my brethren's woman looks good, man. And she texted me. She was nice, man. And once I've said to her, you think, oh my God, what kind of person am I, man? Can't even look my brethren in the face no more. The guilt. You can't look yourself in the face no more. And that's how it was. Even with cocaine, all the crack addicts and everything, the smoke crack, they feel good, they run out, get money, raise money for the crack. As soon as the crack's done, what happens? Start crying. Oh, I gotta kick this, man. I really gotta stop, man. I can't be living like this, man. I'm stealing from my mom. I'm stealing from this. Why? Because the flesh is weak. The flesh is weak, man. They know they're wrong, but they can't tell themselves. They can't control themselves. Sin is like any addiction, man. Keep reading.
Okay. Verse 47. And while he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12, came.
And when imagine Christ talked to disciples, listen, it's gonna happen, man. It's going down right now. As he's saying that, Judas comes, the traitor, comes bopping in. Keep reading.
Second. One of the 12 came, and with him a great multitude with sword and with staves.
Judas come with a bag of man. Today, he said they come with people with staves and swords. Today, that would be Judas coming today with the SWAT team, coming with the armed response, coming with the Metropolitan Police, the bully van, the sirens, the whole nine. You know what? The sirens come for black people. Hands on your head, interlock your fingers. Just did it to Christ. Christ was a black man that the police came to get. Christ was that black man who the white police came to get. Because why? He was a threat. He was racist. He was a terrorist. That was Christ back then, man. If Christ was around today, the SWAT team will come for him. The MI5 will come for him. They'll lock him up, man. Keep it in.
Exactly. From the chief priests and elders of the people.
Yeah, you got the top people, man. All come down, get MPs, everything, sent the best policemen, the bully van, the helicopter, the riot van, all that came for Christ, man. If you read, I'm gonna stop now for time's sake, but you read on Christ, say, yo, all this for me. But is it all this for little me? Christ said that, man. He said, listen, you come up here like you come to catch a thief, man. Where's the thief at? You know what I mean? Christ basically said, all this for me. I ain't harm nobody. Anyone will think you come to catch a thief. But that's the class anyway. Tawada again, Marble Star for reading. I want to hand over to priest and prophet, captain of 10,000 for Russia.
Shalom, this is the I.S.U.P.K. With that, we're going to give the teacher one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Ahmadium. Men of Israel, Ahmadium Shabbat. Ahmadium, Barak. Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Atah.
Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Barak Atah.
Yad Yamatah, Captain Smith.
Come on,